In a previous interview, you said, and I quote, "It will take 10 to 20 years for China to develop a supply chain for equipment that is equivalent to Japan and Korea." Could you elaborate more on that quote? And what kind of catalytic element should China be equipped with to reach that level?
Two things. First, there is the leading edge technology linked to semiconductor, and there is the more standard business, which is 14 nanometer and above in terms of the process steps, and the below 10 nanometer, which are really the leading nodes at the moment for the manufacturing of the logic devices, so the microprocessors, the MCU, the GPUs, and so on and so on. Clearly, in China, for the nodes that are up to 28 nanometer and below, there is already an existing supply chain for power devices, for multiple devices, including logic, with companies like SMIC that are able to manufacture such devices and multiple orders. But when we are talking about the leading edge technologies, the leading edge nodes, so 10 nanometer, 7, 5, and then 2 in the future, you need specific materials, you need specific equipments to do that, including lithography equipment, including etching, including deposition equipment. And these equipments are coming from US companies or from Japanese companies. And at the moment, the key companies in China are not able to get access to such technology and such equipment due to the commercial relationship between China and US. So the only way to be able to do that is to redevelop such equipment in China, to have your own supply chain in China. And this part is quite complex because it takes a lot of time. There is a lot of knowledge, science behind that, where China is clearly able to develop such equipment, but time is needed because it's not something that is happening over the night. You need to have a lot of trial and errors. You have to develop very complex equipment. And this is something that is really quite complex to do. So time is needed in order to move to this leading edge, in order to have in China the complete supply chain. And this 10 to 20 years is really for this leading edge only. If for some reason the political tension between China and US is decreasing and China is able to get access to such equipment, well, it will be much simpler because like all other companies in Taiwan, in Japan, in US, in Korea, all the device makers, all the foundries, so the Samsung, the TSMC, the UMC, all these companies are relying on similar equipment that are coming from Japan, that are coming from US, from the Netherlands for the lithography part. And so it's very complex to rebuild such supply chain in China, and it takes time. That's why I was mentioning this 10 to 20 years.